Hello, in this video, I'll show you how to remove and replace all the available kit of the CVT 08-1 transaxle. First, remove the one roll support using a T25 bit. Be careful not to lose the spring and washer located in the variation lever. Remove the two remaining screws to release the driver kit and the belt. The driver kit can be tough to remove. Don't forget to disconnect the switch before removing the control kit. Use an 8mm wrench to maintain the nut under the transmission and a 4mm hex key to remove the metric screw. For the other screws, use a T25 bit. To remove the driven kit, hang the pulley cover in its upper position so you can easily insert a 13mm wrench between both flanges and a 14mm wrench under the lower flange. High torque might be necessary to unscrew the driver kit. The bypass kit is fastened on the lower housing. Remove the nut from the bypass rod using an 8mm wrench. Then, remove the bypass lever using a T25 bit. Remove the self-retaining washer to release the cable. To install a bypass kit, begin by inserting the bypass rod in the steel plate before installing the lever on its plot. Respect the tightening torque to avoid damaging the lower housing. Manually screw the nut on the rod and hang the cable on its stud, maintaining it with a self-retaining washer. See the adjustment procedure at the end of the video to properly adjust the nut on the rod. While installing the driven kit on the transmission, don't forget the washer below the lower flange and respect the screwing torque. To install the control kit, first, place the slot on the bearing of the inversion lever. Then, insert the metric screw to hold the kit in position. Respect the screwing torque. And don't forget to connect the switch. Install the belt in the driven pulley, then install the driver kit. The lower bearing must go in the lower plate, and the steel plate must fit on the upper housing studs. The composite pivot on the variation lever must be directed upward. Make sure that the steel plate is properly positioned before fixing it on the upper case. Pass the cable through the pivot of the variation lever. Then install the spring and washer on the cable. Hold the spring in the pivot while positioning the support one roll. When screwing the support on the upper housing, keep its original position. Cables and spring coming from the control kit should be slightly released. Release the driven pulley cover, then manually turn it to position the belt. The driver kit must be free in rotation. To adjust the automatic brake, hold the axle and tighten the nut to obtain 0.16 inches between the nut and the axle housing. To adjust the bypass, make sure the bypass is in the disengaged position. Then tighten the nut until you get 0.244 inches between the nut and the steel plate. To adjust the brake, engage the bypass, then move the snap-in support to obtain 5.58 inches between the snap-in support and the hole in the steel plate. After having installed the transmission in the tractor and connected the control rod, don't forget to remove the neutral pin from the control kit.